Welcome to Natty's Crafts. I'm Natalie. I always do all the crafting. Today we're going to just do some easy decor, just, quick and easy crafts for today. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to make, so that's why I'm kind of going around the subject. But let's go ahead and go take a look. All right, so we're going to make this horse that I had seen at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to make it from Dollar Tree supplies. So you're going to need there's a unicorn. Well, the horse that I found was this unicorn. They didn't have any actual horses. So I'm going to use the unicorn. That's fine. I would prefer a horse, but it's all the same. We can make it into a horse. And this little package, this little toy actually came with two. And the little one was quite adorable. So I'll probably find some other way to use the little one. But this is the case. Just unicorn set is what it said. And so first, I'm going to take the wings off. I don't like the wings. I don't like the actual horn of the unicorn. I actually loosened the tail as I was trying to pull off this wing, so I was checking to make sure it was still on there. But what I'm doing, I'm literally just pulling off the wings. They are on there with the two little, I don't know if you can see that, it's hard to see, but they were just kind of pushed onto these two little pegs, and so I'm just taking the wings off of those pegs. And that's how I got those off. And then because now there's the holes where those wings were, now we got to fill in those holes. So I'm just using some, what is it called? Spackling. Some wall spackling. And mine was all dry and horrible to use, but I was able to make it work. And I'm just filling in that whole space where the wings were sitting. And then really just pressing it down in there so it's very secure in there. And then once I've got it all filled, now we have to kind of cover how that looks. This unicorn had hair like, it was some sort of Icelandic pony, which has really long hair. So I had to now make my little flat spots have what looked like hair. So I'm just using this little knife tool from Dollar Tree. And I'm just making some indentations that look similar to the hair that was on the unicorn. And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to stand the unicorn or the horse onto the block. I thought at first I could tie all three of those dowel rods together, but that didn't work. It was too much. So I'm just going to use one dowel rod. And here I was trying to decide if I could get rid of that horn. The way the forelock is on this horn, the forelock is the hair in the front that goes between the ears and front. That forelock was split right where that horn was, of course. So if I would have removed that horn with my tool, my wood burning tool, there would have been that gap and that wouldn't have looked good. So I decided to just leave the horn alone and live with it. And then I had this block. I don't know where this came from. I don't honestly remember, but I have like 4 of these blocks. And so I'm going to use this block, and this is going to be the base for my horse to stand on. So I'm just finding the middle of the block, making an X there, and then I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to put a hole in the middle of that block. And the hole needs to be the same size as the dowel rod we're going to use. I had to go back once or twice to make the hole just a tiny bit bigger. But just make sure that the dowel rod will go in the hole. And then we're going to do the same thing for the horse. Now this is a hollow plastic horse. So if you're making a hole in this horse, just be careful, obviously, that, you don't hurt yourself, basically. So I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want the hole to be, where the middle is. And then once I figure that out, I'm just going to use that same bit and make a hole right there on this horse. And literally just using some pressure, but trying to move slowly so that I didn't get out of control and drill my hand off. And there we go, we got the hole. And same thing here, the dowel rod is going to go right into the horse. And so you do have to make the hole big enough so that the dowel rod will go in without it being loose. We want it to be super tight. So once I've got the dowel rod spaces figured out, I'm going to paint everything black. So this is, of course, where your style would come into play. The horse at Hobby Lobby had a black stand, but then the horse, I believe, was white or gray. Now I don't remember, but I'm going to do everything black because, well, that's how I do it. So I'm painting my block black, and then I'm also going to take and paint my horse black. I'm going to go ahead and put the dowel rod into the horse first. I didn't have to use any glue because it was so tight. So I didn't have to use any glue for that part of the dowel rod. But then I'm just going to go in and paint. Now, if you had spray paint, that would maybe work better so that it wouldn't flake. I'm using just chalk paint with a tiny bit of water, and it might flake. So I used quite a bit of layers. So the black was going to be my background. Then I'm going to use this metallic spray paint. It's like a metallic bronzy color, and it looks kind of cool. It's kind of shiny. And that's how it looks once I've got it sprayed. And then we're basically just going to put it all together. So I've got my block. It's still a little bit wet, but that's okay. I've got my block. I've got my horse. I've got my dowel rod, and we're going to put it together. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue into that hole that we made earlier with the drill. And then I'm going to stick that dowel rod down into that hole. Now, my block was not pretty on all sides, and so I had to make sure that I twisted it around so that the pretty side was up front. So that's what I was doing there. And we're just going to press that dowel rod down as deep as possible and then remove any excess hot glue. And then we're pretty much done. Again, I didn't want that horn there, but since it's there, I had to make it somewhat special. So I'm going to use some of this gold rub and buff and make the horn gold. Now this maybe is a little too much for people, but I thought it was kind of cute. And that's it. Simple and easy. Just let it dry. I didn't put any kind of clear coat or anything on top of it. I just left it just as it is. And I love it. It was cute. Thanks so much for stopping by Natty's Crafts today. I sure hope you'd give the video a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, remember to hit the bell so that you know when the next video comes out. I thank you so much for stopping by today, and please do remember to appreciate today as tomorrow is never promised. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a great one.